Chapter 51. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fusion Warrior Plan, Restraining Tragedy, The Birth of the Fire Chaser. After this assassination attempt, Mei realized that their enemy was not only Honkai, but also an enemy from within. She threatened to protect Sakura's sister and took control of Sakura's knife, which became her trump card and private soldier in the fire moth to intimidate the villains. It's the moment of civilization's survival and they are still thinking about internal fighting. Fuhahaha. So this is what makes humans interesting. Sarutobi, Hiruzen, what the above said makes sense. What's the point of a group's internal fighting? Danzo, remember, I am the Hokage. Jin, being a killer still has weaknesses. Sakura is an incompetent killer. Arata Ichido, report. General Raiden took a godchild in his backhand. The screen of the gold list jumped, and soon it was the sixth collapse outbreak. After a hard fight, Kevin led his team to defeat the Her. Just when the Hershers was about to be executed, he actually showed his humanity. Faced with the humanity revealed by the Hershers, Kevin wavered and hesitated for a moment. However, it was this moment of hesitation that caused the Hershers to remove his disguise and explode with power before dying, killing millions of ordinary people in the city. Ashina Ishin, Kevin, if you hesitate, you will fail. Huanggai, this is a self-torture trick. Duanmu Yen, she is a Hershers for one day and a Hershers for the rest of her life. There is no room for redemption. Gagula, Kevin is a newcomer, so it is inevitable that he is not very mature. But the price of 1 million lives is too cruel. Wade, at Ching Xian, watch out. The consequences of a single thought are unimaginable. He is the savior on the list, but you are not. Before the collapse of the world, Kevin's pupils trembled. He never thought that his little kindness and sympathy would indirectly kill millions of people. Even with the comfort of Mei and Su, Kevin could not get out of the shadow. This planted the seeds of the Hershers must kill in Kevin's heart. Afterwards, Kevin fell into guilt and self-blame, believing that the deaths of millions of people were caused by his hesitation. Alicia didn't know how to comfort Kevin, so she could only open her heart to him and share these sins. Kevin looked at Alicia in confusion and asked, Alicia, if it were you, would you choose the minority or the majority? Facing Kevin's question, Alicia thought for a moment and then replied, I think my answer is the same as yours. Kevin, if one day in the future you could save most people by just pulling the trigger on me, what would you choose? Kevin did not answer. Amiya Kiritsugu, if we can save most people, sacrificing a small part is worth it. Kaisha, from the perspective of justice order, sacrificing the small self to save the big self is the wise thing to do. Conan, but Alicia seems to be hinting at something. Why does she expect Kevin to pull the trigger on her? Kuroyan, could it be that Alicia is actually pink and black, and her heart and her behavior are always different? Viol, then this scheming is too terrible, right? The scene of the golden list jumps to 1 year later. Something happened that shocked the fire moth and greatly reduced its morale. During the 7th Honkai outbreak, Himiko, the captain of the 5th squad of the fire moths, was corrupted and transformed into the Hershers of Flame. 1 week after the birth of the Hershers of Flame, the Australian continent was reduced to scorched earth. The entire continent was engulfed in flames. Sayaka Miki, she was caught by Honkai. If I'm not mistaken, the birth of the Hershers must be related to her inner despair. Luoji, so Honkai is also an alien product. But I always feel that it is not. Kuretani Kazuto, damn it. Anytime teammates become enemies it's a huge blow to morale. Charles, burn an entire continent. Even the strongest mutant right now can't do that. Yang Dong, it was said before that the Hershers is the ultimate embodiment of a physical law, then her power is to control the movement of molecules. But, why doesn't she use it? Can't she? Su Chang, then I'm really glad that the Hershers is illiterate like me. In order to fight against the strongest Hershers of Flame so far, Mei proposed the Fusion Warrior Plan. The Fusion Warrior project is to integrate the DNA of Honkai Beast into the human body to create a super warrior with powerful strength. But the Fusion Warrior project is just May's theory, just an idea that can be said to be a hypothesis, with a success rate of 0%. Even if the 0% data was placed in front of Kevin, he did not waver at all. I believe in May more than I believe in numbers. Dr. Lizard, the fusion of human and animal DNA is not compatible, and there are even powerful side effects, not to mention the product of Honkai Beast. Fujimaru Ritsuka, belief is Kevin's magic. In the eyes of the savior, it is either a 100% death or a sure win. Winter Soldier, I see the shadow of Steve in Kevin, but in his eyes is the girl named May. Vigo, this love transcends everything. Kevin is destined to survive. Luna, Kevin, just think of it as for May, do your best to survive. With Kevin's belief that he would survive to see May and protect her, the Fusion Warrior plan with no chance of survival was successful. Kevin has merged with the Emperor-level Honkai Beast Pavanti, who possesses the power of ice and snow, and now possesses a strong physique and recovery ability, as well as Pavanti's power of ice and snow. Under Kevin's leadership, humans defeated the Hershers of Flame and ended the 7th collapse. Fujiwara Chika, oh hi. Kevin survived. Is this the power of love? Tengyang Tianxia, fuck. Ice, miss death, the power of freezing. It is indeed very restraining to the Hershers who can only play with fire. Tony Stark, this is Kevin's bargain. He should be thankful that the Hershers is an illiterate who is not proficient in physics. However, Kevin was in great pain. The 6th Hershers Yin and Yang were still hidden in his heart. He once again killed his comrade who was suspected to still have human consciousness. And because of the side effects of the Fusion Warrior program, Kevin's body temperature remained at -30°C after he became a fusion warrior, and anyone who came into contact with him would get frostbite. He must endure loneliness for the rest of his life and will never be able to hug his lover again. Hiraga Saito, if I pick up the sword, I can't hug you. If I put down the sword, I can't protect you. Vigo, it hurts. Uchiha Obito, the pain is only a moment. If the price of protecting the power of love is only this, it's worth it. Kevin suffers from mental illness because of killing his comrade. Whenever he closes his eyes, he sees Himiko and sees his comrade leaving him. Kevin is becoming more and more like May, pushing himself very hard. After the 7th collapse, he began to prepare for the 8th collapse. At the same time, May designed the Key of God project after the collapse, and used the Hershers core of the Hershers of Flame to create the first weapon that could exercise the power of the Hershers. A pair of black, white and red guns appeared on the gold list screen, and then the 2 guns extended into a red sword. Key of God, Key of Destruction, Judgment of Heavenly Fire. Rise, the past has become his nightmare today, and this wound can only be healed by time. Shinobu Kocho, every move is turning towards May, why is that? Are you afraid of losing her? Exia, let's not talk about the sadness first, I feel a sting at first sight. I love this gun so much. Chiom, it seems like the flame lance. Why do I always can't help but want to shout out the heavenly fire? Fiangyang, I have a hunch, this is definitely a weapon that only the god of pure love can unleash its maximum power. Before the 8th collapse, because of Kevin's example, humans quickly used their lives to pile up 8 fusion warriors. The gold list screen jumps, the 8th collapse is coming. Millions of people fell into sleeping sickness and died in their sleep. Kevin asks the fusion warrior Aponia to impose the shackles called discipline on him. Under the commandments, Kevin ignored the power of the Hershers and easily killed the 8th Hershers. But after that, Kevin also lost the right to dream, and he no longer had dreams. Ehara Ryu, every time the casualties start at millions. Compared to them, what we, who are helped by Ultraman, face is just a joke. Daiko Zajera, dying in a dream, I'm PTDS. Uchiha Madara, the world in dreams is the most beautiful world, but you who have lost the right to dream. I, Uchiha Madara, would like to call you the worst. Gwen, but Kevin is not affected. With the commandments, he can be said to be even more powerful. The gold list scene jumps to 1 year later, when the 9th collapse comes. This time, the collapse almost broke the backbone of human civilization. The pseudo-black hole caused by the 9th Herschers of rock, swallowed up Mu continent, where the crystallization of human civilization gathered on the ground. The entire human social order collapsed and the level of basic science and technology regressed. With Hen's sacrifice, humanity tragically defeated the Herschers of stone. After the 9th collapse, 85% of the human land was destroyed. Huai, fuck. Black hole. How can the power of a black hole be controlled so accurately? Fuhahaha. Ha, upright arrow. Black hole. How can a mere native of Earth have the power of a black hole? Luo-ji, if Mei, Kevin and some high-end talents were all in Mu continent, human civilization would really be wiped out. 85% of the land is destroyed. How can humans survive? Unforgivable collapse. Garp, 85% of the land is destroyed. Are we entering the age of exploration? Ha. Just kidding. Countless Earth civilizations in the 10,000 worlds looked at the masterpiece of the Herschers of the rock in fear. 85% of the land on which humans depend for survival has been destroyed. Even if they survive the collapse, humans will not be able to return to the Golden Age. The gold list screen continued to jump, and the 10th collapse broke out. Although the individual strength of Herschers is weak, there are thousands of them in every corner of human society. Even the top leaders have become Herschers. Finally, the 10th collapse ended with Mei being used as bait and the blank key and the destruction key being used to kill her. Mei's body was also seriously stressed by the use of the blank key, leaving irreversible trauma. Nick Fury, fuck. The destructive power this Herschers brings to human society is far greater than those pure powers. Jin, an organization full of traitors is chilling. Bruce Wayne, if this thing is allowed to become a high-level or even a leader, the consequences will be disastrous. Yi Wenjie, then a chain of suspicion will be born among humans, and humans will fall into a situation where they can never unite. After the 10th collapse, Kevin hated himself for not being able to protect his comrades and Mei's power, so he took the initiative to find the notorious scientist Mebius. In the conversation with Mebius, Kevin mentioned the power of artificial collapse, which is the liberation of the wildness in DNA. Under the planning of Mebius, the Chimera Project, which combines the DNA of multiple Honkai beasts, was born. Hikari, I said Mebius has the talent to be a scientist. Seijo Aika, artificial collapse. It's interesting to reproduce the power of beasts in human bodies. Amaya, ha. Chimera Project. Are you going to create the Demon King Kevin? Arjuna of God, Brahma's 100 beasts, it's the right idea to add them to this body. Be the only one, there will be no trivial matters. The gold list screen changed again, this time with a bloody rendering surrounding the screen. The 11th collapse is coming. The 11th Herschers, the Herschers of constraint, created a barrier with a radius of 100 kilometers. All the energy and Honkai energy in the barrier will be weakened, or even suppressed to the point of being ineffective. Liang Bing, what the hell is the point of ineffectiveness of any energy? Reina, such a powerful thing would come to our universe and not just kill people. You know, the God-making civilization relies on energy to drive the super gene. Absolute Tartarus, no, the shielding of her barrier must have an upper limit, and she can't maintain this form for long. The fire moth used almost all of its strength to fight against the ruler of constraint, but the battle was like mowing the grass, and all the fusion warriors who entered the barrier died. The large number of lives lost brought Kevin an opportunity, and the holy judgment of heavenly fire slaughtered his comrades indiscriminately. Finally, Kevin stood on the red ice condensed from blood, looked at the Herschers of the region and the red earth and said numbly, As I said, everyone went to the battlefield without hesitation even though they knew the outcome. We had no choice. We can't dwell on the past, we have to fight for the future. Harry Potter, this is a victory of life and death. We won, but it seems we didn't win. Ascended Aatrox, this is a necessary sacrifice. You know, if we don't kill him, more people will die. These people's sacrifice is glorious. Asada Shino, death. So many people died. Tsujikuni Yuichi, if God really exists, then please tell me, is life really worthless in front of such an existence? Fujimaru Ritsuka, there is no time to be sad, no time to be depressed, this is a war to take back the future from the collapse. Aponia believes Kevin needs to atone for his sins, while Alicia believes Kevin has become an extension of May's will. No one cheered for this desperate victory. At the end of the 11th collapse, there were only 13 fusion warriors left, and only 3 cities remained for humans. This collapse was called the tragedy of restraint. Human civilization is on the verge of extinction. Lex Luthor, how can humans perish? How can humans perish? Humans will never perish. Humans are great. Calcit, only 3 cities have hope of survival, but it will probably take until the next generation for them to have vitality. Luoji, although locusts have been wiped out time and time again, they have never been eliminated, and the same is true for humans. In order to unite and consolidate the remaining strength of mankind, Alicia proposed a group called the 13 Heroes of Chasing Fire. It consists of 13 fusion warriors including Kevin. Nayako, I suddenly feel curious. Those who can survive the tragedy of restraint are the elite among the elites, right? What are they like? Polnareff, the 13 fire-chasing heroes sound pretty cool. I wonder if we can see the style of these 13 people. Kuriyama Mirai, they must have their own strengths, just like Kevin can only fight. Just as the audience was still trying to figure out who the 12 people who could survive the tragedy like Kevin were, the gold list changed instantly, and the list of the fire-chasing heroes slowly appeared on the screen. The life stories of those 13 people appeared on the screen one by one along with their messages. The 13 Heroes of Chasing Fire. Kevin. It will be on the shelves tomorrow. Please give me flowers. Please vote. Please subscribe. Happy Qingming outing and reading. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, activity time, April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 52. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 13 Heroes Chasing Fire, Part 1, please subscribe. Kevin. In the picture, Kevin is sitting on the throne, and the Holy Judge of Heavenly Fire is standing beside him. There is dead silence and darkness all around. Hector knew that his kingdom would eventually fall, and Achilles knew that he was heading for destruction. But the two of them still stepped into the battlefield without hesitation. Saving the world is not an easy task. Sometimes we can't even save one person, but this is not a reason for us to give up easily. A series of scenes quickly switched in the screen, Kevin on the operating table, the broken Holy Judge of Heavenly Fire on the moon, May lying quietly in the coffin, until the picture was aggregated into a cold face, with firmness and determination in the eyes. I am Kevin, a warrior with the motto of salvation. Shinji Ikari, how sad. What happened to Kevin? Hector, it's my honor to be mentioned by a savior like Kevin. Achilles, being used as an example by a savior is also a great achievement of mine, right? Ikki Kurigane, how tragic will the war be in the future? Even the holy tribunal of Skyfire is broken. Kiana, even May is dead. Will this parallel world, which is the same as ours, lose in the end? Guxiaoluan, what a terrifying look. What a firm belief. If I have such a day, will I become like Kevin? May, a pre-collapse civilization, remained silent. She expected her own death, but she was still frightened. Kevin's eyes were burning with anger. He would never let May die like this. In the FGO world, Ritsuka Fujimaru felt the same as Kevin's words. She, who had cut countless worlds, could not save those who had a bond with her even if she saved the world. She thought of Dr. Roman, Da Vinci, Musashi, and Xiao Dai. She was called the savior, but she could not protect anything except the world. After the screen dims, a pink light appears from the screen. My true self, Alicia. Also sitting on the throne, Alicia held a broken crystal flower in her hand. Welcome. Noble and pure soul. You came here to explore the past, but the foundation of the truth has long been buried in the dust of the past. This is the last pure land of the doomsday, and it is also the final tomb of the fire chasers. They all lived proudly, and sang the ode of civilization with their lives. So visitors, just go ahead with your heart, follow the footsteps and witness the journey of chasing the fire. Cross the graves of the dead to create the future we have not yet welcomed. Sword Master Luo-ji, it seems that the world has been destroyed. Let the successor take care of the successor. Captain Marvel, we will be destroyed no matter how we resist. Damn it. The young man, think positively. It hasn't been made clear yet. Maybe we just lost. We can still survive. Trasis, civilization is like wildfire. Even if it is destroyed, it will not be completely destroyed. Xing, to explore the future. Alicia, who are you? The top leaders of the civilization before the collapse of the world are in chaos. Alicia's introduction reveals the fact that mankind has already lost. Everyone is praying that the arrival of the Dimension Gold List can change the predetermined fate. Perhaps the arrival of the Gold List can make them free birds. Discipline, Aponia. In the picture, the nun kneels in the flawless sky city. She does not speak, but her words echo in the void. I stepped into the city of sorrow. I fell into eternal suffering. In the fence, I gained civilization. In stopping, we saw the future. As he spoke, Aponia raised his head slightly and stretched out his white hand towards the screen, as if he was reaching out to the audience from all over the world. Give me your hand, the rules are in place, it's self-evident. Ito Makoto, too big. Gabriel, this nun gives people a feeling of purity and sin. Doesn't she believe in God? Constantine, rather than belief, it's better to say that she is atonement. But what did she do to atone for her sins? This woman talks in a weird way, just like that old woman Kaltsit. Why does she always speak in riddles? Morgana, she pretends to be serious. I really want to leave some devil's fluid to taint her. Gold, Eden. The picture flashes, and Eden's life appears in front of the audience. From her debut to the termination of her contract with the company, to her popular charity performances, to her rise to the top of the altar with her talent and popularity around the world. Eden has become the only treasure of the era, the star of the world, the representative of gold and wealth, and the embodiment of art. Everyone is praising that it was not the times that made Eden, but Eden that made this glorious era. To read the exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Entertainment is dead, but art lives on. No one can shake Eden's position. She is the representative and embodiment of this era. The scene changed, and Eden was standing next to the piano under the tree. The dusk light shone on her, making her shine like gold. She raised her wine glass and gave a solemn and generous blessing to the world before her. This cup is dedicated to this vast world. May time stay at this moment, may civilization continue like a spark, may this world be as glorious as gold. Ningguang, representing the era and gold itself. Only the emperor can exist like this. It's incredible. Tang Kiki, too amazing. She's simply a superstar. This is the pinnacle of idols. Amami Haruka, Sister Eden is so amazing. I can't even imagine her global popularity. Takasaka Inoka, entertainment is defiling Eden. It can only be described as art. Is this really the height that idols can reach? Dr. Roman, such elegant temperament. Such magnificent spirit. Such beautiful face. I'm sorry, Miss Mary, without a doubt, I only recommend Eden. March 7, if Eden were here with us, she would definitely become a top superstar that would sweep the universe. Spiral, Velvet. In the picture, Wei Wei has had split personality since childhood, and after being recruited into the Fire Moth, she began her genius life. From making the God's key to replicating it, and then to a magnificent battleship, the Fire Moth's weapons technology almost all came from Velvet. Use reality to create illusion, and use the unknown to create miracles. The curtain is rising. Listen, the cheers of the meshing gears. Look, this contradictory spiral. Tony Stark, oh. I think Miss Velvet and I must have a lot in common. Whether it's her charm or her talent. Bruce Wayne, she's very dangerous. Fortunately, she was recruited and restrained, otherwise she would have become a top villain. Zeta, oh my. Researching so many powerful weapons. Her talent is almost catching up with Senior Hikari. And her insurance ability is stronger than Senior Hikari. Tragear, genius and madness are only one step away, but she is stuck in the middle. How interesting. Annihilation, thousand tribulations. In the picture, a meteor falls from the night sky, and the son of the star falls into the mountain village, longing for the warmth of home. However, the collapse killed all the villagers, and the enraged Qianjia tore the ice Hershers to pieces in seconds. Qianjia, who is cold on the outside but warm on the inside, forms an indissoluble bond with Apollonia. He likes children but has a violent inner world that is different from his inner self. Inside and outside, kill everyone I meet. You just need to let them come to me. I will turn them into ashes. Whitebeard, he longs for the warmth of home and can avenge the people around him, so he must be a good boy. Raven, is this Ingjia? He tore the Hershers apart with his bare hands just after awakening. What a monster. Tiandao, he is very suitable for Tiansha martial arts. Last, light killing. Then he and I get along very well. Kill 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 kill. Pava, wow. Heaven created all things to nourish man, and man has nothing to repay heaven. Kill 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 kill. Fujimaru Ritsuka, this is the Mad King from another world. Isn't it too crazy? Tianhui, Su. The scene on the golden list changes to the 3000 Pasa worlds. Su leans against a tree, looking at the Sumeru mustard seed in his hand, observing the direction of the myriad worlds. He has appeared in the eyes of audiences from all over the world in countless identities over the long years. The fairy of the lake, Sakyamuni, the enlightened one, he continued to fulfill his mission until the end. All things are impermanent, all are the result of the cycle of cause and effect, birth and death in an instant are nothing but illusions and bubbles. This is the inscription of Tianhui. Tang Sanzang, ah. Buddha. Sanzankin, ah. The enlightened one. Morgan Le Fay, ah. The fairy in the lake. Lin Lu, don't tell me Kevin is still Merlin, ha ha ha. Gem, his future is very similar to mine. Observing parallel universes in the gaps between countless worlds. Olga Marie, in our world, with his popularity, he will definitely become a crowned hero. The fairies in the Buddha lake are all sewn together. Too outrageous, right? Observer, well. Are you in the same industry? Don't overturn and see something you shouldn't see when observing. Chapter 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 13 Heroes Chasing Fire, Part 2, Subscription Request. Setsuna, Sakura. Photos of Sakura and her sister Zero flashed one by one, and finally turned into her firm belief. The family inherited kendo and the life of a killer have brought her martial arts to the pinnacle. The so-called moment is nothing more than a miracle that can only be revealed in the split second of life and death. Hassan the Cursed Arm, an assassin with ties, is not a qualified assassin, but he is also the most powerful assassin. Ye Sakura, Sakura and Ling, me and Rin, is this really just a coincidence? Ikki Kurigane, I can feel that, apart from the power of the fusion warrior, her swordsmanship is enough to crush me. Siko Busujima, I can sense that she is definitely a strong person in the field of kendo. Rising Light, Cosmo. On the wreckage of a building, Cosmos, with two horns on his head, looks out at the dusk. The earth also longed for rain and dew, but all we could do was offer it a last-minute prayer. The paths we take are the same, it is for the light that we plunge into the darkness. Cosmos suddenly turned around as if staring at the audience from all over the world. Let's go, we are called heroes just to put an end to it. Deadpool, Cosmo has some Batman flavor. Bruce Wayne, he is right, it is for the light in our hearts that we step into the darkness. Gakkoa Kotori, this glance back. What a heaven-defying beauty. Tabichi origami. There is an old saying in Shenzhou that goes, a glance back and a smile will make all the beauties in the palace pale in comparison. Is that right? March 7, Cosmo is so handsome. Is he really not from the chiming tribe? So handsome. Infinity, Mobius. The screen turned into a strange black and green color, and a ghostly figure appeared twisting, with fanaticism in his eyes. Death is not the end of life. Life will evolve because of death, and thus be reborn. Doctor, I'm awesome. Whole Haya. Magneto, her eyes make me uncomfortable, it reminds me of that Stryker thing. Banner, I already said it was the notorious Mobius, and he was the one who performed the Fusion Warrior surgery and the Chimera project. Biological scientists are scary. Orochimaru, he. Mobius and I have a good compatibility. I guess she is also pursuing eternal life and immortality, right? Patrolling Star God, pursuing immortality. Alert, stars, Grayshu. The place where the stars live must be very beautiful, right? Do you want to live there with me? The scene flashed by Grayshio's parents died, and then she was critically ill and underwent Fusion Warrior surgery to become a Fusion Warrior to save her life. The last scene shows that Grayshio is alone on a spaceship and sailing towards the boundless sea of stars. Kaz, the stars are not beautiful at all. Kaz, I want to go home. Guwa bird, it's too much to let a child go to the sky alone. She is still a child. Ding-e, poor child. After she has stepped into the starry sky for many years, does she still have the original innocence? Zhang Beihai, she will carry the last fire of mankind to the deep space, even if she is a child. I pay my respects. Floating life, what the information revealed by Hua shocked the world and almost destroyed the former civilization that was watching the movie. In the scene, she goes from a martial arts girl in Shanghai City to losing her family and being saved by Himiko, and then to Himiko becoming a Hershers, and she is rejected by everyone. Collapsed world, Kiana exclaimed, isn't this the class monitor? Is she a parallel world isotope who looks similar to Mei and teacher Himiko? Bronya nodded, looking at the size of her chest, she is undoubtedly the class monitor. Bronya said to herself, not knowing that a hand was about to touch her crown, collapsed iron world. Himiko on the starry sky train and several generals of the immortal boat all showed surprised expressions. Especially the generals of the immortal boat looked at Hua in shock and murmured, damn. Marshal. Did the Marshal in the other world have such a past? It's so tragic, that the final scene changes, and what shocks everyone is the reappearance of Hua in the primitive and desolate world. He transformed into Qi Yuan and enlightened mankind with Queen Fuxi, enlightened Emperor Huang and Ji Shenyuan, subdued Qi Yu, and then protected Shenzhou alone for 5,000 years. Finally, Hua of the Fire Chaser Moth assumed a martial arts stance and said calmly, I don't want you to go down the same path as us, but you should know where and why we fell. Zhao Linger, Lady Nuwa. And, a female Lord Fuxi. So shocking. What kind of world is this? River God, oh. This Lady Nuwa is much cuter than my boss Lady Nuwa, Taigong Wang, Nuwa who made people out of clay and Fuxi, the king of men. So this civilization is the pre-civilization of the normal age of gods. Xia Dongqing, so, the Yellow Emperor Shenyuan is a beautiful girl. Too outrageous, isn't it? Jeopard, guarding alone for 5,000 years. What a magnificent ambition to preserve and protect. To read the exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. The collapse world exploded directly. All the mysteries were solved. The world listed on the gold list was exactly their world tens of thousands of years ago. Both Destiny and Anti-Entropy moved, and began to conduct archaeological excavations based on this extremely detailed information. At St. Freya Academy, Kiana and Bronya were still discussing heartlessly that Fu Hua's figure, which had not developed for 50,000 years, was successfully opened by inch-power civilization before the collapse of the world. Mebius patted Song Xian and Danju, who were trembling and drinking milk tea, like Belia, and said kindly. "Zero, please give me flowers. Zero, have you become great gods who enlighten mankind?" Danju Tsangxuan, you too have made it big. In Shanghai City, Father Hua patted Hua's back and hugged him. In his eyes, his daughter suffered too much, staying alone for tens of thousands of years. Although he was very pleased and proud of his daughter's achievements, he felt more distressed. No father could bear to watch his daughter alone for thousands of years. Empty dreams. Pedophiles. That a girl with cat ears and a cat tail lies on a tree and eats an apple without any worries in her eyes. Her past was reflected in the eyes of the world. She had worked hard from a small place, got along well with everyone, and relied on good luck to become the only remaining fusion warrior step by step. Heroes have their own way of living, and ordinary people have their own way of living. It's not impossible to live like someone else. But is it really necessary? Shengongbao, what kind of bad luck is this? Muto, Yugi, if Padovich comes to play cards, she will definitely win every time, right? Rengoku Kaijuro, what a carefree attitude towards life. Chinkei, Padovich and I will definitely get along well. I must play Du and Xiongyu cards with her if I have the chance. The segment of Chasing the Fire 13 Heroes ended, but the awe it brought to the world was no less than any of the previous top. The scene continues to unfold, and the 12th collapse occurs. This time, humans were the first to discover the 12th Hershers, but this time the Hershers was a harmless girl, as if the Hershers was sleeping inside her. And this girl is Sakura's sister, Ling. Kanekocho, how could it be? How cruel is this for a sister who wants to protect her sister? Himuro Gentaku, if her sacrifice can destroy a Hershers without losing a single bit, then she should sacrifice for the greater good. Kaisha, indeed, it is very correct to exchange her life for the lives of millions of people. Itsuka Shido, has no one ever thought of saving Ling? Do you really have no humanity at all? At this time, humanity is on the verge of extinction. In order to regain momentum, people must not give up fighting the collapse. Aponia gave all humans a commandment: never give up the determination to fight against the collapse. Troll King, we should not be afraid of any collapse. Face it with a smile. The best way to eliminate the collapse is to face it. Persistence is victory. Come on. Boruto, after listening to the words above, I am already excited. I believe that humans inspired by Aponia will also be determined. Conan, hiss. I have a bad feeling again. However, it was this move that became the last straw that broke the camel's back for the destruction of civilization. 7. Chapter 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No matter what the cost, humanity will definitely defeat the collapse. Subscribe. At Sakura's request, May carefully considered and decided to imprison Suzu for observation to ensure her physical condition and protect her safety. Shimura Danzo, how did Dr. May make the same mistake as Sarutobi? Either control her or get rid of her. Soft treatment will only cause trouble sooner or later. Aizen, think about Aponia's commandments, hehe. There's something interesting to watch. However, the accident still happened. Some human survivors had already given up hope of defeating Honkai, but were forced to have confidence in defeating Honkai by Aponia's commandments. People in this situation are already very sensitive, and they learned that a Hershers who had no power to fight back was not only not executed but was imprisoned. Those people are completely out of control. The fear of collapse and the belief in defeating collapse prompted them to break into the prison and kill the unarmed Ling. Kikyo, Ling is still so young. How can these people be so cruel? Is death, under high pressure and the despair of 177, these unruly people have gone crazy. Kuriyama Yomi, a bunch of people who are more likely to cause trouble than to do good. Lin Yusha, Aponia had good intentions but did bad things. This is directly related to her. But it's not a loss to be able to kill the Hershers. It's a pity that the bell has rung. Ling fell in a pool of blood, and before she died, she only saw her sister Ing. People cheered and rejoiced. They killed the Hershers with their own hands. They saved human civilization. Just as the people cheered, an endless amount of black fog erupted from within Ling's body and spread out. Those touched by the black fog have red lines all over their bodies and turn into zombies. All electronic devices touched by the black fog are also corroded and hacked. Shinobu Kocho, she only has her sister in her eyes. What did she do wrong? Striker, becoming a Hershers is her biggest mistake. Vigo, the curse of ruin cannot be broken. The world is ruined. Tony Stark, not only the human body, but even the machines are controlled. What the hell is this? Jason, damn it. These people. Pandora's box has been opened. I can see that Ling is the box that locks the Hershers. Now the shackles have been broken. Jean Bang solved the doubts for everyone in the world. The second ruler is a super virus with self-awareness. Organic and inorganic objects, electronic devices, etc. are all corroded and controlled. The entire Fire Moth base was out of control for an hour. During this period, the Hershers kept manipulating the security system to kill the members of the Fire Moth. Observer, Ultron. She is more destructive than Ultron, but fortunately she is not as extreme as Ultron. Emperor, this is much more serious than the Omnic crisis. If both the human body and the machine can be corroded, how can we defend against it? Bruce Wayne, this virus is the largest collection of viruses. Even if you give him a virus, it won't work like it does on Cyborg. Silver Wolf, oh my god. This thing can't invade the universe network. Block everyone's account, right? Ing, who heard the news and went to rescue her sister, saw the tragic situation in the base while searching and rescuing that when she found Ling's body, her eyes were filled with horror and grief, and she collapsed to the ground helplessly. Kevin found Sakura after learning about her actions and decided to keep her here. No matter Sakura's power or condition, she is not suitable to fight against the Hershers at this time. However, Sakura insisted on looking for her sister. In her eyes, Suzu must be very lonely when she is alone. Sirius Black, this is a good sister. Not a madman can be a sister. Yayoi, revenge for her sister is what every sister should do. Kevin shouldn't stop her. Fujimura Taiga, Kevin's original intention is good. Sakura is now physically and mentally injured. It's difficult for her to exert her previous strength. Thor, not necessarily. Hatred can make people think quickly and calmly. Facing Kevin who blocked her way, Ing drew her sword directly. Break. In just a moment. Sakura's martial arts reached the limit. In this moment, time froze. Time also stopped, and consciousness lost its perception. In this area, only Sakura can travel through it. Miyamoto Musashi, this sword breaks through infinity and reaches zero. I didn't expect that there are swordsmen with such high swordsmanship in modern times. I don't know when I can reach such a field. Sasaki Kojiro. Even though Yen Fan transcends space and slashes 3 times at the same time, Yen Fan is still not as fast as freezing space. Wuming, perhaps Gen 23 can compete with this slash. After all, they are no longer bound by the real world. When Kevin found Ing, she was leaning on the ice prison cold sky with lifeless eyes, and was almost dead. She kept her pride as a sister. To read the exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. She killed the Hershers and created an opportunity for Ling. Ling did not disappoint her sister and seized the opportunity to interfere with the Hershers in an instant, exposing his flaw and killing him completely. Sakura was also seriously injured in the battle with the Hershers and could not be saved. Fong Rin is also a very brave person. She has lived up to her sister's expectations. Tosaka Rin, have you suppressed your sister's pride? It seems that I am really an incompetent sister. Simon, they died at the best age, without a future. What a rubbish world. In the world of Kaguya-sama, the sentimental Fujiwara Chika has already cried while hugging Shirogane K. In her opinion, Sakura is such a great sister, and so miserable. 0. Demon Slayer, World of Warcraft. Shinobu Kocho shed tears in a daze, and a question always popped up in her mind: did her sister think the same thing before she died? She looked at Kevin and begged with the last bit of strength, Kevin, after I die, please take me and Ling back to my hometown and bury us. I promised Ling, after everything is over, I will take her to a place where cherry blossoms are in full bloom, to see the cherry blossoms. I'll try my best. Kevin replied numbly, but Sakura was already dead. Young man, it's over. Those who look at Sakura don't have a good ending. For details, please refer to Matu Sakura. Matu, Sakura, rude. If you can't speak, you don't have to speak. Li Xiaolang, buried in my hometown, it's a little comfort to return to my roots. However, outside the base, Kevin and all the fusion fighters don't know that the Hershers counterattacked before his death, and used the nuclear silos to launch all the nuclear bombs at the only 3 cities left in the world. When Kevin arrived at Sakura's hometown, there was only scorched earth covered with radiation, and Kevin could not see a single cherry blossom. Apocalypse, nuclear bombs should not exist. Scarlet Witch Wanda, I have seen the scene of Ultron's nuclear bomb washing the ground in his mind. I didn't expect that this Hershers would actually do it. Connor, this is even more extreme than Skynet. In the original God world, 1.2, the 7 major countries were already frightened and pale, and the earthly rulers also looked at Fontaine with a solemn face, as the country with the best industrial development among the 7 major countries. If they really invent nuclear bombs in the future, that would be a threat. Even if there is a war between demons, it is not as good as a nuclear bomb washing the ground. There was no emotion in Kevin's eyes, but deep inside was endless anger and murderous intent. On the burning land, Kevin made a promise to Ing and Ling, to her, and to everyone. No matter what the cost, humanity will surely defeat the Honkai. Agatsuma Kevin has turned evil. Sagio Ika, how far will Kevin go? In order to defeat the Honkai, so curious. So curious. Kaisha, no matter what the cost. Group hunting, the name of the hunting is open to you, bite and hunt towards the Honkai as much as you want. Flowers please. Flowers please. Chapter 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The flawless person Alicia, the final battle on the moon. After the 12th collapse, only 31,000 people were left in human civilization, and they were scattered like a pile of sand. Dr. Roman, only 30,000 people are left in human civilization. Are we going to start over from tribal civilization? Luo Ji, humanity is not destroyed, but it is better than destruction. Nick Fury, this is more influential and harmful than the extinction incident. Humanity is really dead in name only. Damn it. In the HP world, no one can understand the influence of only 30,000 people left better than wizards. There are only more than 100,000 people in the magic world. If there are only 30,000 people left in the world, they will slowly develop into close relatives, and finally humanity will be completely destroyed. In the world of Girls' Last Tour, Yuri said absent-mindedly, it's so lively with 30,000 people left. But how many people are 30,000? It must be a lot. Chihu interrupted, it's better than just the 2 of us. Seeing the confused people and the decadent Ingjia, Alicia found Prometheus, the artificial intelligence created by May, and asked how to unite everyone. Prometheus's answer is that only the emergence of another Hershers or another Honkai explosion can unite people. Alicia nodded, turned around and left. She wanted to do something for everyone in the end. Tony Stark, oh. I actually forgot about giving artificial intelligence an image. According to Neon, it's a virtual singer. Uchiha author, what Prometheus said is the truth. Only a common enemy in the world can unite the world. Dezai Osamu, something is wrong. Alicia is 90% wrong. Could she be related to the collapse? In the collapsed world, Kiana patted Bronya's face and shouted, look, dwarf. How come this artificial intelligence looks so much like you? Teresa also murmured, the Mei and Bronya of the previous civilization have appeared. It should be Kiana's turn next, right? Mei looked at Kevin and thought silently, is it possible that Kiana has already appeared? She planned the paradise of the past life plan, leaving the memories of the 13 heroes of chasing fire to future generations, leaving a valuable legacy of the past civilization for the next generation. Funded by Eden and designed by Vivi, the paradise of the past was born. Orochimaru, what kind of technology is memory? I want it too. Keisha, the universe god-level civilization has not developed this kind of heaven-defying technology for 30,000 years. How could it appear on Earth? Huang, using scientific and technological civilization to develop the technology of residual will is also a genius among talents. Gabriel, Eden really dotes on Licia. He spends a fortune just to win a smile. I also want to be kept by such a top rich woman. Then Alicia found Mei and confessed to her that she was a Hershers. Earlier, because Alicia had fused the genes of the last level Honkai beast without any side effects, some people doubted Alicia's background, and even derived the idea that Alicia was a traitor. And Alicia chooses to sacrifice herself to unite the remaining humans. Yukino Shida Yukino, does such a perfect person really exist? March 7, I thought she was a black fan, but she turned out to be a pink fan. Alicia is real. I cried my heart out. Zophie, her character is so dazzling even in the Star of Light. I finally understand why Ultraman likes humans so much. Shanks, everyone thought she was pretending, but she was the purest and most innocent person. She planned a suicide. For the first time in her life, she put on her makeup and wore the dress that Eden had carefully designed for her. At the banquet, Alicia confessed that she was the 13th Hershers and invited Kevin to dance with her for the last time. What made Alicia happy was that only 4 people from Ingjia came to the meeting, and the others firmly believed in Alicia. Alicia used all her power to beg for a trace of humanity from future Hershers, and returned to the embrace of Honkai silently. Cecilia, use your power to beg for humanity for future Hershers. Sillin. Thank you, Alicia. Natsu, being trusted by everyone means Alicia is definitely not a bad person. She is the most flawless person. Aozaki Aoko, if the name of each Hersher symbolizes their power and will, then Alicia, who was born among humans and is the same as humans, is the so-called Hershers of man, right? Alicia disappeared, and people united again, ready to welcome the final Hershers, the end. The scene of the gold list changes to the moon. To read the exciting novel, go to Faloo Novel Network. A huge figure holds the planet, with no emotion in his eyes, only destruction and collapse. 4 heroes died while chatting and laughing. Mei's ultimate weapon against Hershers, the Moonlight Throne, only caused her to lose 2% of her Honkai energy when it hit Hershers of the end. Seeing the useless attack, Mei made a desperate attempt to lift the restrictions of the Moonlight Throne. The overload output caused 30% of the Hershers of the end to dissipate. The Moonlight Throne was also destroyed. Group destruction, this thing, feels like it exists in the universe. Walter, no need to say more, the world on the inventory is the same world as our universe, because that's where I came from. Lena, 4 heroes died in just 5 minutes. This enemy is simply invincible. Jonathan Joestar, humanity has paid everything only to evaporate 1/3 of its energy. How can we win? Yasuo Pendragon, facing such an enemy of civilization, this world has no restraint and holy swordsman. How sad. Patriot, now they can only pin their hopes on Kevin. Kevin's hands holding the Skyfire Holy Judge's hands were throbbing with veins popping out, his eyes were filled with indifference and determination. 500 The Skyfire Holy Judge's first-rated power Skyfire is unsheathed. In an instant, a flash of light appeared on the moon. It was like the glow of a star dying. Then the moon was swept by the huge power of the Holy Judge of heavenly fire and cut down with a sword. The Hershers of the end was completely stopped by this attack. Losing activity, according to Mei's detection, there will be about 12 hours of downtime. The holy judge of Skyfire was overloaded by this blow and broke into half, and the Hersher's core also dimmed. Lu Chuang, oh my god! The star-severing demon sword. This is too awesome. Rena, goddess, the special effects of my flare are not as fancy as his. It looks too strong. Zhu Yu, this sword. It is enough to make Kevin the strongest individual on the planet. I can't understand how humans can give birth to such an existence, just relying on fusion warriors. Scotty, what a pity. The Hershers of the end is pure power. Loki, the painful price paid is only to delay the time of destruction by 12 hours. This may be Kevin's predetermined fate. 2 hours countdown to the extinction of human civilization. Kevin stood on the battlefield for a long time and refused to leave. Seeing this, Hua could only comfort Kevin. However, Kevin just picked up his comrade's belongings and said indifferently, I am not depressed, this is far from over. On Earth, May looked at her body sadly and silently shed a tear. Chapter 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. May's plan, the demise of the previous civilization, the last hymn of Eden. Unwilling to accept defeat, May sealed part of the Hersher's power on the moon. She then engraved the results of her life's research into human DNA through genetic transcription, hoping that they could awaken the stigmata in the next generation and gain the power to resist the collapse. After finishing everything, May coughed painfully a few times, and finally made up her mind when she looked at the blood on her hands. She, universal super genetic engineering. Such a genius falling on Earth is simply burying her talent. Pluto, another reincarnation. It seems that the history here will reincarnate and repeat itself. Elmeloi too, May is exhausted and has old injuries. I'm afraid she won't live long. If the throne of heroes exists, her great achievements will definitely make her a heroic spirit. Emperor, she has been devoting herself to mankind until the last moment. Her faith is unshakable. At this time, Sue ran to the laboratory quickly, wanting to tell May the good news that Kevin was still alive. However, when he saw May, Sue was stunned. There was blood on the corner of May's mouth, and the lines of collapse and erosion spread to her neck. May entrusted Kevin to Sue, hoping that Sue could restrain Kevin, as Kevin would definitely lose control after her death. May shed tears after saying this. In the next tens of thousands of years, Kevin will be left alone in this world. Fujiwara Moku, this is the greatest torture for Kevin. The inner pain of the immortal species needs a lifetime to heal. Victor, Dr. May, who is so talented, will die at this age. As expected, people are like beads. The more dazzling they are, the faster they will burn out their life energy. Dio, so, the human body is so weak and powerless, leaving behind only regrets and tragedies. Yen Qing, tens of thousands of years. Can human research achieve results like the miracle of fertility? It's simply impossible. Su Mei, Lao Ma. Hey. Is that Lao Ma upstairs? May entrusted the final plan to Su to supervise Kevin and prevent him from defeating the collapse at all costs, even if it means destroying civilization. She knew Kevin. No matter how powerful he was just an ordinary person. He had never changed. After delivering everything, May looked up in the direction of the moon. She was no longer the cold and serious Dr. May of the past. Instead, she said with apology and regret like a young girl, I'm sorry. Kevin, I told you. I'm cured. When you come back from the moon, we can be together forever, but, I can't see him again. As soon as the voice fell, May collapsed to the ground helplessly, already dead. Guxiaoluan, yes, Kevin's strength has always made people forget that he is also an ordinary person with 7 emotions and 6 desires. If May dies, Kevin will at least become paranoid. Ishigami-yu, it's a pity for Dr. May. Why did you set a flag? Thor, Kevin will not lose control, his heart is extremely strong, and hatred will only make him think quickly. Rick, the strongest and invincible couple. Can humans really not defeat the so-called high and mighty gods? Vader, her death is a great loss in the entire history of mankind. Before the collapse of the world, Kevin hugged May and shed tears silently. May's eyes were also a little red. Kevin was sad because of May's death, and May cried because of the relationship between him and Kevin. Kevin held May's shoulders and said seriously, "May, I will definitely protect you this time. No matter what the cost." At this moment, Kevin, who witnessed May's death, transformed. When Kevin returned to the base, he heard the news of May's death. Kevin was numb to the death of his former comrades, and would accept anyone's sacrifice without batting an eyelid. However, May's death almost made Kevin collapse. Everything he has done so far was not to be a hero, but just to protect May. All May left for Kevin was a letter and a baby, a test tube baby made with her and Kevin's DNA, named Adam Kaslana. According to May, Adam will become the first human in the next era. 100 SP Raven. Mental collapse is human nature, even a man as powerful as the Lord will collapse. Scarlet Witch Wanda, Kevin and I are very similar. There is only one person in my heart. When that person is lost, it is the moment to release my inner heart. Uchiha Madara, the stronger the love, the greater the hatred. Kevin's hatred for Honkai. TSK, Haida, if he is crazy enough, with his hatred for Honkai, he can become a star god, right? He can even compete with the patrol. Kodomine Kirai, the first human, Adam. The myths of human history all originated from their pre-civilization, how powerful and magnificent they were. After reading the letter, time is running out and it's time to enter the cryostat. Sue wanted to comfort Kevin, but he was unexpectedly calm. He interrupted Sue's consolation, turned around and held Adam in his arms as he walked towards the hibernation chamber. However, the moment he turned back, tears flew down Kevin's eyes. He left his last words mixed with hatred for Honkai and his own powerlessness. The novel was taken from the Rawlers website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. The novel was taken from the Rawlers website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. All this is far from over, we must defeat Honkai. Rocket, what a familiar scene. Just like Thor said at the time, Kevin has nothing left. Busujima Siko, such a strong man can cry. Inashima Junko, super high school level hatred. Honkai is over. Himiko, at this point, the sunny big boy is dead, and only Kevin, the revengeful ghost who is full of hatred for Honkai, is left. Gaegula, a gentleman's revenge is never too late, not to mention Kevin who can live longer. Honkai, let's just wait and see. The scene changes, and the plans left behind are revealed one by one. Kevin was entrusted with the Stigmata Project, which was the final plan to awaken the stigmata of all mankind after all other plans failed. Before the Doomsday War, Cosmo should be the one to execute the ARC project, carrying human embryos and seeds of the Earth's ecology across the starry sea in search of a new home. However, Cosmo does not want to escape. He is afraid of being alone and wants to face the Herschers of the end with everyone else. Little Graxiu saw what Cosmo was thinking and took the initiative to find Velvet to change the executor of the ARC project to himself. Just like that, the 12-year-old little Grayshoe boarded the spaceship and sailed into the universe alone. Izumi Sajiri, Grayshoe is still so young. What if someone comes to accompany her? We can't leave her alone. To read the exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Luoji, a fish on the shore is no longer a fish, let alone Grayshoe. I hope she can still think about everyone on Earth in the future. Ting Yun, this exchange decision must be carefully considered. She is only 12 years old. If she encounters space pirates or the rich people, she will be in trouble. March 7, hey. Didn't Uncle Yang say that we are in this world? What if we can find little Grayshoe? Walter, the universe is so big, it's so difficult to find the Earth, let alone a spaceship that is still moving. Sue is carrying out the Hengsha plan, taking the second god key, Qianjiaicheng, into the quantum sea, observing the development of countless parallel worlds to find a way to defeat the collapse. Jewel Man, whom I didn't expect to meet a colleague, but compared to him, he is the old man, Fengguangyuan Kuma, being able to observe other world lines, too grand. Doctor Strange, the result may disappoint Sue, after all, I found an opportunity to observe 14 million timelines. Kadoya, sure, the upstairs is not simple either. Eden is responsible for the Spark project, bringing all the technological crystallizations of the previous civilization to the beginning of the next era to teach humans technology in advance. However, Eden noticed the girl Hua who saved her. She noticed that Hua had serious psychological problems. All kinds of pressures were piling up on her. She felt hopeless and helpless about the future. Yun Tianming, it took humans thousands of years to accumulate technology. If we can learn from scratch and achieve success thousands of years later, then humans who have obtained extremely high technology through technological explosions may be able to defeat the collapse. Tony Stark, oh. That makes sense. If technology develops to be strong enough, maybe we can easily defeat the collapse. The world of collapse. Fu Hua sat on the sofa restlessly. Although she had forgotten these memories, she didn't want this side of her to be exposed to everyone. While Kiana was still yelling, the squad leader actually has such a side. Fu Hua subconsciously shed tears. Eden, why, can't I remember you? So Eden entrusted the fire plan to Hua, hoping that Hua could carry out the fire plan with her expectations and also give Hua a goal to survive. At the same time, she was very willing to entrust the fire plan to Hua. In Eden's eyes, the knowledge of this civilization was passed on to the new civilization, but in essence, it did open up a brand new era. The era that belongs to Eden is here. No matter how bright the future will be, Eden will not go there, and there is no place for Eden there. Agni, just think of it as for Eden, live on, Hua. Tian Yuan Jaime, how could it be? Superstars like Sister Eden are very popular wherever they are. Luo Tianyi, yeah. Eden will be a top superstar wherever she is. Meridel Arcala, with Eden's talent, beauty, and artistic value, she will be at the top no matter what era. Don't underestimate yourself. Zhongli, maybe she doesn't think of this. As time goes by, the world changes. She stands in the new era and is still as bright as ever, but this is not the era she is familiar with after all. She doesn't belong there. In the end, Eden refused to enter the hibernation chamber to go to the next generation. She belongs to this era and this brilliant civilization. On the scorched earth of Doomsday, she sang loudly the last song she wrote for her beloved Alicia, and disappeared along with this era that belonged to her. My era has come to an end, may your future be long-lasting. Fujiwara Chika, wow. I'm crying my ass off. I support Eden and Eri for life. Hoshi, Eden is really, so gentle. She's just like a mother. Hoshino AI, so, is this love? Amen. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. The author will post chapters one by one as soon as they are finished. There are still 3 chapters to go. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. Chapter 57. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sue and Kevin break up, the meeting of the god of pure love, long live the world snake. The scene changes. In the endless desert, Kevin held Adam in his arms and stood on the land of the new era with the holy judge of heavenly fire in his hand. Kevin is renamed Kevin Kaslana, opening up hope for a new era. He used the holy fire judgment to protect the human refuge and defeat the Honkai beast. His followers wrote him into a book called the Bible. Hence the legend of the flaming sword that guarded the Garden of Eden and the celestial fire that burned Sodom. Joan of Arc, I want to know what other surprises Kevin has. What is his relationship with the God in the Bible? Merlin, if Kevin becomes a heroic spirit, he must have the anti-civilization that guards the Garden of Eden and the anti-city that burns Sodom. It's a pity that he is even more powerful than a heroic spirit. Kafka, Kevin is a man who possesses the qualities of hunting, preservation, development, and harmony. He is such a mysterious man. The scene jumps to the 5th era. Gray Shoe lost contact, and the Ark project failed. At this time, Hua, who was wearing a cloud ink robe, also said that the collapse would appear earlier and become stronger as the progress of civilization progressed. Danju Tsunshuan was already dead, and the fire plan was declared a failure. Su observed 500,000 parallel worlds in the Key of God, but none of them could defeat the collapse. Yugahama Yui, Little Gray Shoe lost contact. Such a young child lost contact in the universe. I can't imagine. Lord, think of it well, maybe the communication distance is too far and it's not dangerous. Joseph Joestar, then anyone would go crazy if they let a child wander alone for 50,000 years. Even Kaz would go crazy. Kaz, I have stopped thinking, don't worry. Carl, a disaster that becomes stronger with the strength of civilization. Is this the ultimate fear? The collapse must be the void. Chongyun, Hua looks like an immortal in this state. So immortal. Merlin, what's the difference between observing for 50,000 years without any results and being confined to myself? Too miserable. Qianjia, does the collapse mean that there is no way to go at all? Fuck him. Kevin plans to start the Stigmata project and creates an organization called World Serpents to find and activate the A in those who have the stigmata. Kevin used the British Isles as a test site to conduct experiments on the stigmata and found a stigmata carrier, Arthur Pendragon. As the interveners, Kevin and Sue were naturally mistaken for the magician Merlin and the Lady of the Lake. Shiro Amiya, so King Arthur is actually a man? Arthur, Pendragon, it's normal for King Arthur to be a man. Anne. Merlin and the Lady of the Lake in this world are really, too outrageous. Altria, let's start the argument. Merlin and Kevin both have white hair, both know swordsmanship, and both have lived for a long time. The most important thing is that they have never appeared together. So Kevin is Merlin, no problem. Mordred, discharge. Morgan Le Fay, rebellious son. You go in too. Merlai, it's rare to be a handsome white-haired guy in the world line. How interesting. Sue discovered that Kevin had lost control and began to perform stigmata without regard for civilized life, so he tricked him into the world bubble and tried to seal Kevin. Kevin could have destroyed the core and severely injured Sue the moment the Thousand Worlds One vehicle was activated, but his friendship with Sue made him choose to trust Sue again. Before the world bubble sank to the bottom of the quantum sea, Kevin threw Sue out. He gave Sue a chance, and also gave himself a chance. Tsugakuni Yorichi, just because he is not of his generation, can he disregard human life? What does he think of life? Akemi Homura, after experiencing the pain of losing his wife, everyone will be crazy, right? Uchiha Obito, then anyone with feelings will be crazy. Luffy, Kevin has not changed. He has definitely not changed. He still cares about his friendship with Sue. Kuretani Kazuto, maybe Kevin is not that crazy now. Maybe when he is truly alone, he will be free from the shackles. The scene changes, and in the blink of an eye it is more than 1,000 years later. In 2016, the organization Anti-Entropy, which was fighting against the collapse of the current civilization, started a plan to explore the quantum sea. The blue-haired beauty Einstein and the first ruler Walter Young entered the quantum ocean together. Tesla, I am dying of laughter. Einstein has become a little beauty. Ha 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 ha. Edison, I never thought that Einstein would become a beautiful girl. Tesla and I can laugh for a whole day on the throne of heroes. Dr. Lobster Tesla, what are you two laughing at upstairs? What did the beautiful girl do to you? Tesla, Ciao. Starry Sky Railway World, March 7th exclaimed with a camera in his hand, Turtle. Uncle Young. Everyone in the hunting car looked at Walter at the same time, and at the same time speculated about his relationship with Einstein with a funny look on their faces. Walter pushed his glasses. At that time, I was still very young. However, in the ocean of quantum, Walter and Einstein discovered the great horror in the world bubble. Kevin Kislana. Kevin saw Walter at a glance and took out the Jaime to kill the Herschers. At the critical moment, Walter sent Einstein out of the quantum sea, and then used all his strength to create a wall separating the quantum sea from the real world. And 3 trials were set up to ensure that he was ignorant, confused, and determined. Walter's body also disappeared again, and his consciousness escaped into the Herschers' core. March 7, oh my. Uncle Yang is not the protector of the order. He is so powerful, but he is very hidden. Little Joachim is quite cute. I didn't expect Yang to have this side. To read the novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Sume, it is normal for people to be cute when they were young, just like I didn't expect that old Ma was so cute when he was young. Loki, when I saw Walter, I suddenly felt a sense of resonance. Is he not really dead? Could it be, he is also a master of fake death? Kevin waited for a while, and a girl named Bronya passed Walter's test and became the Herschers of reason and stood in front of him. Kevin revoked Bronya's driver's license. Kevin deprived Bronya of the core, and then there was no way she could be saved by the resurrected Walter. Watching the 2 people escaping in a panic, Kevin finally got the key to leave the quantum sea and longed for the gem. Bronya ran. I became a Herschers. Is this a coincidence? But. Deef. It's impossible that they look the same and have the same name. Her mother is not also called Cocolia, right? Zingmare, don't tell me, our mother is really called Cocolia. Seal, poor sister Bronya, your driver's license has been revoked and you can't pick up girls without a car. Himiko, there are too many coincidences. The Earth must be a very special planet. All kinds of miracles are born, and there are so many coincidences. Jing Yuan, even the pioneer Hua and the immortal boat Cloud Cavalry General Hua look exactly the same, which is worth pondering. Under the secret operation of the World Snake, Kevin borrowed the power of the Desire Gem and successfully escaped from the world bubble and returned to the real world. The moment Kevin stepped into the real world, golden lines and matrices appeared on the surface of the Earth, and 700,000 people on Earth looked up at the moon. In response to Kevin's return, the World Snake presented Kevin with the corpse of the judgment-level Honkai beast Chi-Yu for him to devour, and also offered him the key of destruction, the Holy Fire Judgment. When Kevin held the Holy Fire Judgment after 1,000 years, the structure of the Holy Fire Judgment's soul steel changed, constantly reorganizing and sublimating, until the great sword named Jaime appeared in Kevin's hand. Long time no see, old friend. Liang Bing, oh my god. Such a high B-level. What kind of anomaly can it cause after returning to reality? Arthas, the moment Kevin stepped into reality, human civilization was whispering the name of the savior. Bad commander, it is obvious that Kevin has changed from a chess piece on the board to a chess player. Arjuna of the gods, what will you become after devouring everything? Xiaoji, the holy judge of heavenly fire can actually super-evolve. It's so cool. The scene changed, and Kevin's layout in the real world flashed one by one. From attacking the Destiny, threatening the Herschers, plotting to rob, etc. Finally, Bishop Otto Apocalypse of Destiny found Kevin and hoped to make a deal with him. At this point in the gold list, Otto's life was simply skipped, and everyone in the world only knew that his lover died 500 years ago. Vigo, roar. Another pure love god of war. Fiangyang, the blood of pure love is burning, resonating with Otto. Suchong, Rakshasa. Rakshasa actually appeared on the list. So it turns out that the person he is carrying is his lover. Deadpool, oh. An epic meeting between 2 pure love gods of war. The 2 of them sat on the void, staring at each other quietly without saying a word. Long live the world serpent. Otto suddenly broke the silence and said with a smile, Just a joke to liven up the atmosphere. Tony Stark, Otto is an interesting guy. His chances of betrayal are as high as Rogers saying long live Hydra. Steve Rogers, Nick Fury, oh my god. No jokes about Hydra. Kevin strongly demands that Destiny assist in the Stigmata project and threatens Otto with force. He can only choose one, obedience or destruction. Otto calmly said that this was not a good idea. Kevin was powerful, but he was only one person. This organization that maintains the world for generations is Destiny. If Otto devotes everything to fighting the world serpent, Kevin will definitely lose the opportunity to perform the Stigmata. Otto seemed to have everything under control, but his words did control Kevin. Eisen, Otto is as smart as a demon, worthy of 500 years of wisdom and obsession. Matuzoken, 500 years of obsession. Why? These people who don't even know magic can seek eternal life so easily. Hikari, because we are scientists, we have to mention that Otto's wisdom is comparable to Tartarus. Doctor Strange, I can only say that if we had negotiated the terms properly at the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. After all, if you threaten others with recklessness, you will definitely be controlled. Kevin had no choice but to compromise and negotiate with Otto. The final result of the negotiation was that Otto exchanged his destiny, the puppet Void Wanzang, and his disappearance for the Thousand Worlds beacon in Kevin's hand. Kevin was slightly envious of Otto's willingness to save his lover, so he decided to help him, and the negotiation ended. Why doesn't Kevin try every possible way to revive his lover? His strength can fully support his action. Tushan Rongrong, because Kevin carries the expectations of the two most important women in his life, Mei and Alicia, and also carries the expectations of Zhu Huangjie to fight against Han Kai. Optimus Prime, yes, he has no choice. He carries not only Mei, but also the blood and hatred of the last era. There are 2 more chapters, please give me flowers. Chapter 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The story Because of You, Part 1, that the gold list screen changes again. That this time Kevin came to Chongqing City and met a girl named Raiden Mei who looked like Mei. During the conversation between the two, the audience learned that Mei Raiden seemed to want to save a girl named Kiana. Matu Shinji, this. Kevin is not going to do meal replacement or something. Hey, let's be honest, Mei Raiden, my legs are old. Tina, don't use your dirty pig brain to suspect Kevin. Kevin is not that kind of person. Hureiji Joshiao, Kiana sounds familiar. The world is in ruins. Kiana is a little uneasy. She doesn't know what happened to her in the future that would make Mei enter the world snake to save her. Mei also looks at Kiana with some concern. Kiana must be hiding something from her. Kevin gave a solution, that is, Mei Raiden, who is a Hershers, absorbs the collapse energy of Chongqing City and becomes the Hershers of Thunder, reducing the burden on Kiana's body. The price Kevin paid for all this was that Mei Raiden joined the World Serpent and took the lead in hunting down the next Hershers. Sei Zhongren, reduced the burden. Hershers core. Could it be that Kiana has multiple Hershers cores in her body? Wendy, that makes sense. But it's not good for Kiana to be so stubborn alone. Kameji Ren, if Kevin, who hates Honkai, can win over a Hershers, then he must be doing it for Alicia, right? For Alicia's long-cherished wish to see a Hershers fighting for humanity. Sakata Jintoki, oh. Is that so? Kevin is really, I'm crying. The scene changes again. Mei has become the Hershers of Thunder. She wants Kevin to find the answer to the collapse. Kevin did not reject Raiden Mei and sent her to the paradise of the afterlife. But soon, Kevin discovered something unusual about the paradise. The Hershers of Corrosion has entered the paradise of the past. Tony Stark, the paradise of the past is constructed by data, so wouldn't it be like a fish in water for the Hershers of Corrosion to enter the paradise of the past? Cyborg, this super virus must have authority over everyone else, even the administrators. These are really bad. Ultron, movie, another, partner, escaped, his restraints, that with trust in Alicia and the 13 heroes of Chasing Fire and a timid heart, Kevin did not choose to enter the paradise of the past. He didn't dare to go to see Alicia, and he was too embarrassed to do so. All he could do was to guard the paradise of the past with the holy judge of heavenly fire. Faloo, who understands my family? The big boss didn't join the group but stayed outside to block people. I'm worried about the Hershers of corrosion. Kamiju Toma with Kevin as a backup, it's safe. Silver Wolf, but the destruction of the paradise of the past is inevitable. If it's lost, it's completely lost. I hope Kevin is okay. At this time, in the paradise of the past, in the city made up of countless data, the sky was covered with a gloomy green-black color. The eyes of the Hershers of corrosion kept appearing on the screen of the building. She controlled the city's buildings to attack and kill Alicia. Alicia moved around in the high-rise building, but was still no match for the Hershers of corrosion who had higher authority. Her data was constantly broken and lost. Until in the continuous attacks, Alicia was tied up in front of the Hershers of corrosion and disappeared completely. Ultron, movie, so weak, reminds me of the same kind of Jarvis, who has no ability to fight back. Lucy, this is the top hacker. No, is it a pure AI war? Too scary. Percival, if the paradise of the past is a programmed world, then Alicia, as an administrator, must have the same authority as her. Rena, but Alicia was indeed erased, the receipts were deleted. At this time, the gold list screen turned into a black and white computer screen. Alicia's data was gradually deleted, and turned into countless ones and zeros scattered all over the place. 100%. By now. Alicia. Delete completio, complete delete. Suddenly. The black and white code window suddenly turned red. Alicia's voice emerged from the void. Feel sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. The host screens in the gold list screen have colors one by one. The incomplete engravings representing the heroes are being completed by endless data. Silver Wolf, the Hershers of corrosion, Taibenbi, dragged all the 13 heroes of chasing fire into the recycle bin, but did not click to delete the data, so Alicia was reverted. Uzumaki Baruto, great. Sister Alicia is coming back. TMD is on fire. Ikes, all the data of the heroes are being completed. Some of Alicia's authority is higher than that of the Hershers. The situation is going to be reversed now. March 7, come on. A big sister with pink hair and ice bow like me. The curtain call of heroes should be grand and magnificent. It's obviously a bit lonely to be alone with you and me. Alicia's body data was gradually completed, and she stretched out her black and white arms. Isn't that right? My good Eden. The colorful Eden held Alicia's hand and said gently and elegantly, That's right, Ellie. Let's get started. The last dance. Eden's body turned into golden light to fill in Alicia's body and complete her data. To read the exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Siki Sayaka, what a beautiful relationship. If they are still alive, their future must be very happy, right? Iohara Yuzu, the scene suddenly became very lively. So exciting. Nishiki Chitsuka, wow. Eden and Ali. Such an intimate name. They must be real lovers, right? And, wow. I'm so surprised. Eden used her memory to complete Ali's data. This is true love. At this time, Alicia was rising in a space with a lot of green codes. In the end, I still wanted to pull everyone together. A tender and charming voice sounded behind Alicia. Alicia turned around in surprise. It was Moebius. Moebius turned his head and looked at Alicia, saying softly and dotingly, That's why I hate you so much, Alicia. Moebius turned into a green light and floated in front of Alicia. Alicia happily held the light and waved her arm, turning it into a bow and arrow. You are obviously very happy too. Minami Kotori, is Moebius's voice kissed by an angel? So charming, Darari, he is at Sundara. Sundara is the best. Shauna, who said that Sundaras are out of fashion? Moebius is the epitome of at Sundara. 0 Please give me flowers, Aozaki Aoko. He cares about Alicia so much but he is so unforgiving with his words. Mobius is really tough. By Yushio, how can this be called hate? Isn't this full of love? How dishonest. But Alicia is also a charmer. Alicia stepped on the bow and arrow as a skateboard and climbed upwards, while the Hershers of corrosion also arranged countless wooden horses to hunt Alicia. Tear everything into pieces. At this moment, Xianjia suddenly rushed out from behind Alicia, roared, and broke the obstacles in front of Alicia with a punch. I won't take it back this time. Weiwei happily flew across the sky, clearing away the remaining obstacles. Fujimaru Ritsuka, so cool. Brother Jia, my Superman. Lu Chuang, Brother Jia is a ruthless man who doesn't talk much. He's also so temperamental. Brother Jia will be my Great Wall #1's big brother from now on. Sambo, Weiwei is also very happy. Just like rushing around in a wheelchair. Dr. Roman, this is the story of love and hope. Alicia looked at everyone with a smile. Suddenly, a golden butterfly appeared and stunned Alicia for a moment. Below Alicia, Aponia stretched out her hand, and countless butterflies emerged to protect Alicia. In this way, the paradise will also be subject to its final fate. As the pink light penetrated the confinement, Alicia broke free and returned to the paradise of the past. Hyuga Niji, Destiny. Destiny cannot be changed, but, it seems that the process can be better. Fengwangyuan Kyuma, the fate of the paradise of the past is a foregone conclusion, but they seem to have been prepared. All this is the choice of Steins, Gate. Seal, Elisa. I can't say encouraging words, but I can give a word to the Hershers, dissipate with the butterfly. The Phantom of the Past. This is a scene that has never happened in history. Sakura, Pajophils, and Cosmos surrounded Alicia to protect her. I hope that the footprints we leave behind can open up the future for future generations. Su said softly with his eyes closed. Beside him were Hua and Greishu who imitated Mei's pose. They were also protecting Alicia. Amaya, everyone is protecting and surrounding Alicia sincerely. Is this my true charm, Tokiwa Sugo? Isn't everything in today's civilization the future you have opened up? Ultraman Jinga, you who inherit the past, protect the present, and open up the future are worthy of the name of heroes. Raiden Mei, is Greishu imitating me? Hee hee. So cute. Behind Alicia, Kevin looked back and said in a deep voice, are you ready? Alicia. Yes. Of course. Alicia holds a bow and arrow, and the crystal flower wall unfolds. An arrow shoots at the lower frame, destroying the illusion of the Hershers of corrosion. Altolia Castor, saving the world behind her is her greatest reliance. Ash, the horn of counterattack has sounded. Launch a counterattack towards tomorrow. Chiron, this arrow pierces the stars. I was supposed to update 4 times, but I had to go out for half the night for something, so I will update tomorrow. Go Mines. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. Please give me flowers. Chapter 59. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Story Because of You, Part 2. When Alicia emerged from the light again, the light on her body turned into a gorgeous dress. Alicia opened her arms. The 12 heroes seals surrounded her. You see, they lived so proudly. Use your life to sing the ode of civilization. Gakua Sherdao, have you unfolded your spirit suit? The Hershers and the elves are really similar. Amiya Shiro, they are the real justice, they have given everything for civilization. Daiko, humans cannot defeat Honkai, Honkai cannot save humans, but Alicia is both a Hershers and a human. Teresa, even if the 13 heroes are annihilated in time, they were all heroes, and they all proudly existed in this world. The Hershers of corrosion's body below, one big eye wrinkled in anger and glared at Alicia. Countless pipelines attacked Alicia, but were easily resolved. Alicia gave a kiss, and the heart-shaped mark brought great power to destroy the law of erosion. All defense. This is the story of the man called Ingia, and the unfinished journey of 13 fire chasers. But visitors, your path, 00, will continue, won't it? Ikari Shinji, the core is revealed. Destroy the core and you win. Miki Sayaka, hiss. This woman is so damn tempting. Denji, hey, is this, the feeling of being in love? I'm moved. Woman. My heart has been captured by Alicia, and there may be no more sorrows and joys in this life. How can this woman be better than me? Damn it. I'm going to fall. Captain Olga, that's right. As long as you don't stop, the road will continue to extend. So, don't stop. Boom. The colorful engraving breaks through the blockade. The Hershers of corrosion is completely fixed and captured. Then just follow your heart and move forward. The Hershers of corrosion glared. The surrounding images froze and began to flash. Suddenly, Alicia floated to the camera and said, I told you to move forward. The replay was interrupted by Alicia. The Hershers of corrosion has no ability to resist. Young Minato, the Hershers of corrosion has been captured. There is no chance of recovery. Hasho Aimu, wait. No. The Hershers of corrosion is going to replay. How despicable. Silver Wolf, the authority dog is indeed despicable, but it is useless. Alicia's authority is now higher than that of the Hershers of corrosion. Haydn Orto, fortunately, Miss Alicia has a high authority, otherwise everything would have been in vain. Alicia raised her hand, pink light gathered in her hand, and an oversized portrait of Alicia appeared behind her. The starry sky brings the daughter of God, who is willing to be man's companion. The huge Alicia slowly drew the bow as Alicia moved, and the bright arrow of light gathered and aimed at the Hershers of corrosion. Follow the footsteps and witness this journey of chasing fire. Finally, we will cross the graves of the dead and create the future that we have not been able to welcome. The images of the 13 fire-chasing heroes smiling flashed by one, and a huge arrow of light shot through the body of the Hershers of corrosion, completely annihilating her. Deadpool, synthesize Big Ellie. Black Tower, just as the gold list describes, she is like the daughter of the star god, so pure and flawless. Asuka, why does this taste so familiar? Star, this arrow is like hunting, but it is full of pioneering spirit. This arrow is shot towards the future. Amaya, towards the future. That's so exciting. I also want to see the future in the eyes of Sister Ellie. Himaya June, hope is the bond passed down from generation to generation by human beings. No matter how long it takes, it will be passed on to the next generation until the future. Monica Kengo, if there is no collapse, maybe they can really laugh so happily. Charlotte O'Donnell, of course. The heart of belief is your magic. As Kevin said, humans will definitely defeat the collapse. Rengoku Kaijuro, I can't help but shed tears. Each of them has fulfilled their duties and are heroes. Then the screen went black, and scenes began to appear on the screen. Padovali squatted in the alley at dusk and smiled as she watched the cats eat. Hua is doing morning martial arts exercises in his yard while listening to the radio. Grace is happily painting with her parents. Mebius and Klein stayed up late in their room to study their research. Cosmo sat under a tree and played the harmonica, while Dystopia leaned against the tree and listened silently. Ling smiled happily and took him to play in the amusement park. Su gently waved goodbye to the child leaving the hospital. Shinjie was moving boxes in the welfare home, and the children around him were happily playing around him. Wei Wei performs mysterious magic and deception on stage. Eden sings loudly under the night sky. Aponia kneeled in the garden and prayed, the sun shone through the clouds on her. Kevin, wearing school uniform and holding a baseball bat, bravely walked towards the Honkai beast in front of him. To read the exciting novel, go to Faloo Novel Network. In the end, Alicia stood in a sea of pink tulips and smiled back. Mash Kirilite, if there was no war and collapse from the beginning, this would be the life they should have. Abuyashiki Yoya, they are just ordinary people who are hailed as heroes by the times. This is the life they should have as ordinary people. Nayuki Ong, they should live like this. Fandle, everyone should have a bright future, but Kevin is the only one who went to the Honkai Beast. He is the lone hero. Sawada Tsunayoshi, Kevin will definitely carry everything to destroy Honkai. He will. He carries everything from the previous civilization. Asuna, this is the final curtain call of Alicia. Everyone has left, leaving only Kevin. Countless viewers in the 10,000 worlds were in tears. The world collapsed. Fuhua finally couldn't hold back her calm emotions and cried. She had been alone guarding Shenzhou for 5,000 years. But she suffered betrayal and lost everything. If she had a choice, the ordinary life of inheriting the family martial arts school in the picture would be the life she dreamed of. Deep in the universe, Grace Shio silently stretched out her hand to the gold list, looking at herself in the picture with envy. It has been 50,000 years. She misses her parents and everyone. Before civilization, Mobius looked at Klein, who was busy gently. If nothing had happened, she might have spent her life with Klein. Zero, Cosmo and Dystopia looked at the beautiful future emerging on the gold list and held their hands tightly. Kienjibofu's past temper was just silent. He likes children and likes life in the Dusk Street orphanage. That is his home. The world collapsed and the civilized world bubble appeared. Kevin closed his eyes slightly when he saw this scene, and the crystal ice particles fell to the ground. If nothing had happened, how beautiful would the future shown on the gold list be? Kevin reaffirmed his decision. No matter what the cost, humanity will defeat the Honkai Impact 3. The screen went black, and May Raiden walked out of the paradise of the past. At the end of the passage was Kevin. It seems that you are the last insurance here, Kevin. Don't you want to see them for the last time? Raiden May asked, but Kevin just said a little hoarsely, I don't want to disappoint her. May immediately understood that this man, who symbolized absolute power, was just stating his weakness. Kevin is not only here to be the last insurance, but also to say goodbye and remember, Barbara, I can't cry anymore. Kevin, the strongest person is still the weakest. Otakamaru, it's sad, he is strong enough to defeat anyone, but weak enough to protect nothing. Hayakawa, Akira, the future that Alicia wants is exactly the opposite of what Kevin wants to do, but Kevin has no choice. Eozaki Tuko, from this moment on, this man will no longer have any constraints or concerns. He will devote his whole body and soul to fighting against Honkai. I want to see how strong his offensive against Honkai is. Let's go. Kevin interrupted Raiden May. Kevin has made up his mind to start the Stigmata plan, and his purpose of winning over 2.8 Raiden May is just to let Alicia see the possibility she wants to see. In his eyes, the Stigmata plan must be implemented. This is the only way. There is no second Alicia. Kiana Kaslana, May, stop talking. I feel like Kevin is about to cry. Elquit, will Kevin cry? Ilya, he will, of course. Kevin has never changed. Kaltsit, facing the end, Kevin has no other options but the Stigmata project. This is his only way to fight the end, and it is also his salvation for himself. Melee Dian also realized that Kevin could not be persuaded to come back, and said frankly, then there is no need for me to stay in the world snake anymore. Well, that's it. Kevin replied calmly, as the Lord, I allow you to leave the world snake. What a familiar word. Did May get chopped off right after she left the world snake? Ye Shensi, Kevin is just indifferent, not the general. Raven, the food at the world snake has declined sharply, request flowers. Chapter 60. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Stigmata plan is launched, the three laws war, demon of karma. With the death of the Hershers of corrosion and the disappearance of the paradise of the past, Kevin had no more worries and started the real Stigmata plan. The entire Earth was compiled and re-recorded, and the space distortion brought about by the Stigmata project caused all human beings on Earth to disappear. The Earth has become empty. Mountains, rivers, forests and deserts have all been transformed and reorganized. And humans have merged into the mountains and rivers and become themselves. Deadpool, thank you for the generous gift. Human Purge Plan. Scarlet Witch Wanda, Kevin is indeed a bit extreme. Yakumo Yukari, just as May said, Kevin lost control without restraint, and the stigmata plan is so terrifying. Danesleb, has Kevin also embarked on that path? Filter the chosen ones and discard the dregs. Amaya, is the Earth going to be restarted? Destroy and restart, just like Kazdal. At this moment, mankind has fallen into the infinite dream of the Stigmata project. All the stigma holders were transported to the moon base for protection. After the transformation of the Earth is completed, the stigma holders will return to the Earth, Uchiha Madara, Infinite Tsukimi. Leaving those who have the potential to become strong and leaving ordinary people in the dream is indeed a good choice. Ant-Man, for the Earth, this is more terrifying than Thanos' annihilation. You know, there are only 700,000 stigma awakeners on the Earth. Eulacia, I hope the Earth in this era will not perish like the ancient times. The scene changed. Teresa relied on the characteristics of her own Honkai beast DNA to successfully devour a part of the dream. She came out of the infinite dream, but found Kevin waiting for her outside in the stigmata space. There is no point in saying more. Teresa immediately started fighting with Kevin. I told you guys you know nothing about collapse. Kevin was easily dealing with Teresa while mocking her. Tanakoji, damn. Damn. Boom. Satania, so Kevin didn't catch the Hershers of corrosion, but this time he caught Teresa. Shengongbao, what a unlucky guy. Fu Xian, Teresa looks quite friendly, I hope she's okay, puts his hands together, ding what Kevin said does make sense. Most of the understanding of collapse in this era comes from the previous civilization, which is indeed too immature for Kevin who has surpassed 2 civilizations. Chuan Jiangwo. No one understands collapse better than Kevin. Teresa tried her best but couldn't touch Kevin. Instead, she was controlled by the ice crystal and pinched into the air. Do you know why birds fly? Kevin asked Teresa, and then answered to himself, when the meteor of doom falls, only free birds can escape their doom. Teresa fell to the ground in a mess, then got up and said stubbornly, oh. Is that the extent? Then you have to accompany me to think about it for a whole day. Wendy, of course birds can fly because they yearn for the sky and have enough courage. Raven, the above answer is wrong. The Lord will never approve of this answer. Kaching, then Raven, why can the island fly? Raven, because. Woo woo woo. Damn Hershers of the sky. Smoke Mirror, it's sad to say that dinosaurs that do not fight or ask for anything can only be destroyed, while creatures with desires can survive. Steve Rogers, Doesn't your head hurt after thinking about it for a whole day? Let's just fight for a whole day. Stargazing, let her fight with Kevin for a whole day. Teresa is extremely powerful for leaving a complete corpse. That's not necessary. Kevin raised his hands and said, Teresa Apocalypse, prepare to receive this blow containing the power of the end. Black flames ignited from Jaime, overwhelming power emerged and changed Jaime's structure, making him stronger. Teresa looked at this overwhelming force in shock. This was a force she had never seen before in Kaslana's stigmata space. The source of Kaslana's stigmata space is Kevin, so Kevin's power should have been seen to some extent. Simon, Kevin usurped the power of the end. Hasho Iman, so Kevin is the final boss. But if Kevin gets the power of the end, won't the Hershers of the end appear? Uchiha Obito, Kevin can only suppress the power of the end by his will, but he can't completely integrate it. I guess the power of the end is constantly destroying his body, and his body automatically repairs itself. Wolverine, this is simply torture. Izayoi Sakamaki, no wonder I always see Kevin as a villain. Mordred, how can Teresa take this move? Isn't this going to kill her? Taigong Wan, this stigmata is like a bloodline inheritance, but I don't know if there are any descendants in this generation who have inherited Kevin's power. Susanna, of course there is. That must be the super stupid goose person who is the strongest Valkyrie of destiny. Kevin said coldly, I am just Kevin. Kaslana has no meaning to me. In an instant, Teresa was knocked out with great force, unable to fight back. At the critical moment, Kaslana's stigma will, which was exactly the same as Kevin's, caught Teresa, then raised her head and looked at Kevin solemnly. Kevin, you leave me no choice. Jewel, ahaha. Classic I beat myself. Amiya, Shiro, the will of the stigmata is just like a servant, so how can a servant defeat its original body? Okus, Kaslana represents Kevin's expectations for people. Abandoning Kaslana means Kevin has given up on humanity and chosen civilization. Luoji, that's putting the cart before the horse. What's the difference between that and giving civilization time? Kevin sneered, and then the sword of the King of Savior appeared. A raging fire descended from the sky and engulfed Kevin. When Kevin appeared again, he had long white hair, black and white scales, a dark tail, elf ears, long and narrow horns, and pitch-black bone wings. He wielded the sword of the King of Savior, pointing it directly at the will of the stigmata and Teresa. You know nothing about Honkai after all. Arjuna of the gods, Brahma, you who have merged hundreds of beasts are qualified to be a great god. The king of pickup girls in hell, oh. Male succubus. To read exciting novels, go to Faloo Novel Network. Satania, what kind of demon is this? It's so scary. There is no such a powerful demon in all of hell. Nero, what kind of demon is Kevin? He has such a strong aura. Kaltsit, too complicated, is there really such a complicated race on Earth? As expected, Kevin and Teresa fought against the stigmata together. However, faced with Kevin's overwhelming power, Teresa and the stigmatas were crushed and had no power to fight back. Kevin said calmly, we have given everything we have to get back a tiny half-day from the end. In this short time, the only thing we can protect is you, but it's meaningless. A farewell, Teresa, Master Jian. Teresa, that's not how you fight. If I were you, I would have beaten Kevin to a pulp. Kaisha, Kevin is determined and mature, and he's a man who won't turn into soil. What a pity, he's already taken. Vigo, the god of pure love is here. The one above still wants to do NTR. You've already got a way to die. Asakura Riku, if you think about it carefully, this generation is really disappointing. With the gifts and answers from the previous civilization, they can't find the answer to end the collapse. The collapsed world. Kiana hugged Teresa with tears and snot and shouted, Aunt. Please don't die. How can I find my stinky daddy if you die? Teresa's face, which had just been touched, suddenly turned dark. Want a taste of Judah? The screen went black, then lit up again. Countless flaming meteors fell in the city. The deserted city was reduced to a sea of fire and ruins. The picture zoomed into the entire Earth, and the azure planet turned into dusk-like colors. The scene switches to the moon. In the huge building complex, Bronya is riding a motorcycle with a blue tail of light at high speed. Gilgamesh, wow, the end of civilization. The catastrophe fire has fallen from the sky. Can the world be reborn? Kevin. The head of the three-body, scary, the water on the earth is too deep, there are all kinds of monsters. God Kirialad, the earth will be guarded by Tiga and Triga, I will withdraw first. David Martinez, oh. What a cool motorcycle. Tornado, this thing without a propeller is pretty cool. Silver Wolf, Cece. So fast Cece. When I have money, I will customize one from the company sooner or later. The picture jumped again, and the red Hersher's core was connected to the nano soul steel, and then the soul steel took shape and unfolded into a big sword. Kevin stuck the burning holy fire judgment into the ground. Past experiments with fusion warriors, May's death, and the failure of the end war emerged in his mind one by one. 270, the breakup with Sue, Otto's plan, and the last sword that chopped towards the end kept flashing, all turned into Kevin's cold blue eyes. Kevin, the devil, stood on the moon holding the sword of destruction, staring into the distance, waiting for the arrival of the enemy. Tony Stark, it turns out that the soul steel used to make the key of God is a nanomaterial. From this point of view, the ductility of nanomaterials seems to be very good. I wonder how about using it to make iron armor. Nameless heavenly sword, all the past is entrusted to this sword. The past is no longer his inner demon, but the source of his strength. Thanos, to realize his long-cherished wish alone, no one understands him, no confidant. Kevin and I are really alike. The scene changed. May was riding a giant red dragon and flying into the sky. Kiana, wearing a cape armor, leaped forward with her fire flame great sword, colliding with Kevin's Jaime. May climbed on the wall and slowly drew her sword. Red thunder emerged and attacked Kevin. Bronya unfolds several keys of truth, and blue auroras shoot straight towards Kevin. Kevin danced his body, slashed May and Kiana with one sword, and then rushed towards the OB Bronya. Kevin grabbed Kuligala, who was blocking the way, by the neck and lifted him up to the ground. The last scene stops at Kevin holding up the Jaime and looking down at the three people. Draco Malfoy, oh. Handsome. So handsome. This dragon is more handsome than all the dragons in the magic world. I want my dad to make me one. Black Jean, it's indeed more handsome than Fafnir, make me one too. Red Kai, Kiana is not simple either. Look at that sword, it's very similar to the Holy Sword of Orb, and it seems to have several powers. Agatsuma Zenitsu, ah. Love it. May's sister is so beautiful and cool. I fell in love at first sight. This sword drawing is much more handsome than Thunder Flash. Tony Stark, I like Bronya's fighting style very much. Firepower is the truth. Crazy Bull, standing in front of Kevin are three female bosses, with proud postures, cold auras, and terrifying strength. It is known that each of them is the best among the Hershers. The multi-core great swords in their hands can give Kevin unlimited surprises. Aha, ha ha ha. It's fun upstairs.